Hey people, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to make a body cultivation sect in Amazing Cultivation Simulator. I know a lot of people find body cultivation quite daunting, so I want to give you guys the best and easy start for body cultivation sects. Now, obviously, you might be asking, is body cultivation a good sect to start with? No, probably you're better with a more orthodox sect starting out and picking up body cultivation, honestly, a lot later. However, this is just another fun way to go about the game, and I'm going to try and make it as sort of flexible as possible. Like, I'm going to show you what variables that you could use instead of the ones that I'm going to use, etc. Obviously, you can use Realm's Palace to help you make your characters for this. However, I'm going to try and do this with randomized characters to help you realize that you don't really need Realm's Palace characters unless you are playing the hardest difficulty. So first of all, we just want to start up. I will always usually go for Heavenly Chaos. Depending on your map seed, you'll get 3 permanent effects to your sect, and generally they're all favorable. I'm going to go with one that's generally quite neutral to begin with. Depending on your map seed, check out what options are available to you. I would highly recommend trying out this mode. Besides this, I'm going to be playing on a mortal difficulty, and I'm going to start with all the narrow escapes. This will allow me to have 4 more followers at the start of the game. They're going to help me with, obviously, base building, stuff like that. I'm also putting my size up to max. In terms of environment and stuff like that, I'm going to start with Lushu. The only reason why I'm starting with Lushu is for recording purposes. It's really fucking hard to record during the rain, and you guys won't understand what the fuck's going on. But I would actually suggest Fae as a start. I think rain's a more preferable weather. But outside of that, we want Ancient Battlefield. Ancient Battlefield is going to help you get some fabrics very early on. That's going to help you with some of your building. Also get you some rare minerals that you might not be able to get access to without exploring a little bit, because your exploring is going to be a little bit nerfed until you get yourself a golden core elemental guy. Yin Yang Stella, I like this just because it gives a lot of XP. Alternatives could be Otherworld Rift or Earth Mother Shrine. These are also both very viable options. I'm going to be using the map seed Locomotion Spirit Soul Gem beginner map seed to sort of start learning the game, and it has mostly neutral stuff with the Heavenly Chaos. Anyway, without further ado, I've actually changed the Earth Mother Shrine. I just want to try that out for a bit. It's not going to change my run that significantly. Always put your map size obviously to large. This is sort of a no-brainer. But without further ado, let's get into this. Upon creation, you'll have a few preset characters. First, we want to make a Yagwai. Any type of Yagwai will do, though I wouldn't recommend going with Rabbit as it's broken, Panda as they're better as body cultivators and they have a lot of drawbacks outside of that, and Turtle because they have slow move speed. This character is going to want to be a Tai Yi Law, so you're wanting to have as many stats matching with one of the Tai Yi Laws as possible. They're also going to be one of your explorers, so like Turtle's going to be bad for moving around the map. Recommended Snake, Bear, Tiger, Wolf. Those are ones that are pretty good. You also want a sort of tribulation between 100 to 200. That means it's not too early and it's not too late. Minimum 100 days is recommended, or you're just going to end up turning into an evil beast killing everyone. Once you have your Yagwai with good enough stats, this guy fits perfectly into reincarnation. In terms of perks, I'm going to take Legacy of Body Refinement, Luck with Manual Pavilion, that will give us Soul Inquiry, which is a pain to get no matter how you get it, and Elixir Relics. The reason why I'm taking Elixir Relics over Beastly Instinct, for example, which some of you might know about, is with the herbs that you get from Elixir Relics, you can sort of just use them as a second forming pill. Because we're making 2 human body cultivists, I'm gonna awaken both. I'm gonna break through both of them from like day 1, 7 a.m. you know. So yeah, this also helps with making scented satchels, which help with mood, which body cultivators have very big mood swings in general. You always need to keep their mood up. And unlike the other cultivators, they can't focus on their mood. They're just always training. Onto your human, who is going to be your main body cultivator. What matters on this guy is that you get a high crafting and a high medicine, as well as a high battle. So try and randomize until you can get all three of these generally quite high. Also, you want to have your sort of battle stats as high as possible. So if you can get your perception, luck, and con at a really high level, that's also very good. Now, the reason why we want to re-roll as much as possible in the character creation menu is that body cultivators are the one type of cultivators that generally don't try to reincarnate. What I mean is that most of the Zendao laws or the Tai Yi laws, they'll get a point where they sort of cap out in ability, and then they will reincarnate into a mortal for a short period of time and then begin their journey again with bonus stats. That's how you sort of make the next generation of your set. But as you can see here, I'm on the max difficulty right now, and on the max difficulty, your disciples will always suck. Your disciples will always have really low stats, and the reason why that is it's part of the difficulty settings. The reason why this is to sort of incentivize you to reincarnate as fast as possible and make the new generation. But because we were body cultivators, we sort of want to start off as strong as humanly possible. And max difficulty, I would just suggest using reincarnators straight up instead of even trying to roll your characters. But if you're in a difficulty lower than the max difficulty, you should be able to roll decent enough characters. For the sake of recording, I'm using some reincarnators, one based on my girlfriend and 2 human cultivators, which I'll be using as my first body cultivist. One will be for searching and one will be for defending. You don't have to have 2, you can only have 1, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, this is the sort of setup I'm using for recording. If you're using the same map seed that I am, I'm using Place of Extreme Yin, Place of Extreme Yang, and Tiger Hunter. If you want to take a sort of risky run, this one will aid you every day, but increase key and boosting items. So if you get a bit too comfortable in this one, this is just sort of a very neutral Heavenly Chaos permanency. Those 2 will just increase the key gathering ability of your area, and this will just give you an item every single time you kill a few tigers. Now, when we start to load up the game, we want to check if we're on hard mode, if these guys have a normal tribulation time. We just want to make sure that if they are, Yaguai, they have a reasonable tribulation time. You might want to re-roll in stats, depending. This is another reason why we use reincarnations if we're playing on hard mode, because we will want to particularly re-roll these guys, if anything. So you're still re-rolling. Once you've rolled the outer disciples you'd like, just make a backup save. I like to keep an even extra backup save in a different folder so I don't accidentally save over it. Join me next time for the next part of my body cultivation guide. I will cover what you need to do initially, as well as some of the things that you should do on day 1 and 2 of every run. I'll get all the way up to when I first start to build my first breathing room, as well as what you want to do during the golden core sort of phase. Anyway, join me next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.